Everything has changed. Everything has changed.
In my view, what you did to her was wrong. Regardless of what you believe or say, even if you don't see it that way, many others do.
Good afternoon. As usual, I'm working on a video and I'm not sure if I've shared this story before, but I hope you enjoy this short film. One day, I was hanging out with my friend, who is also my roommate. She invited me to join her and one of her friends, so I agreed. We all met at her friend's place, and we started drinking. Before I continue, I need to mention that there was a time when I was upset with my ex. Nothing surprising there, right? My ex and I were on a break at the moment, but I had put a restraining order on him, which meant I couldn't see him for 6 months. Despite that, I still loved him. Now, back to the story. Everything was going well until my roommate, who is also my friend, left for a few hours, leaving me with her friend, whom I'll call B. We were chatting when T, the friend I mentioned earlier, returned. I decided to leave and go see my ex on my electric scooter. Everything was fine until I heard a dog barking, which made me want to speed up to avoid getting attacked. Unfortunately, I tripped over a rock or something and ended up falling for 2 reasons. I was drunk, and there was the dog. Eventually, I reached my ex's place, and he let me in. That's when I realized I had bruises and cuts, and my arm was sprained. I had planned to post this story in the morning, but that didn't happen. Enjoy! Good morning! I have another story to share, and I hope this video attracts more viewers to my content and encourages them to check out my accounts. To my family, I apologize for my past actions. I was young and foolish. This might be a multi-part story. A while ago, when I was 17, I got my first job at a place called Big Cheese, which is quite similar to Chuck E. Cheese. One afternoon, while I was working at Big Cheese, my responsibilities included fixing games, cleaning, and occasionally doing side jobs, putting a pizza order. On this particular day, a family of 6 came in wanting to claim their prize, but they ran into some trouble because they wanted a toy ring and didn't have enough tickets. They decided to pay for it, and I was trying to calculate how much change to give back. However, they told me to just keep the money, and I thought that was the end of it for the night. But then the next day arrived. As I mentioned, the next day I had to catch the bus as usual. I was walking to the bus stop when a driver in a car asked if I wanted a ride. I politely declined, saying I was fine and could catch the bus. When I turned to look at him, he recognized me as the girl from work. Once he realized who I was, he insisted on giving me a ride, but I was hesitant for good reason, which you'll soon understand. He kept saying that if I was scared or nervous, I could sit in the back. When I finally agreed to get in, I saw guns and some bullets in the back seat. I thought to myself, oh shit, I'm going to fucking die. I'm not going to make it to work. Just imagine how a 17-year-old girl would feel in that situation. He took me to work and we had a brief conversation, but when we arrived, it was too early. I explained how the buses worked, and he offered to get me some food before I had to go to work. I agreed, and we went to eat, enjoying each other's company and getting to know one another before my shift started. He suggested we exchange phone numbers, and I agreed, honestly thinking I would never see him again. However, he wanted to engage in some adult activities and be more than just strangers, but not in a relationship. To be honest, he was much way older than me, and I knew it was wrong, but as I share more, you'll understand why I got scared. Back to the story. He would give me rides to work, and we sometimes hung out. One time, I gave in to the adult activities, and without my knowledge, he recorded it. Later, while he was giving me a ride, he asked for a large sum of money, $500 for his family in Mexico. I told him I couldn't do that, and after that, we stopped communicating. I felt relieved, but this isn't the end of the story. Every now and then, I would still see him, and it triggered a lot of fear in me, especially after everything that had happened. I didn't see him again after that as I started dating my boyfriend at the time, and I completely forgot about the guy whose name starts with E. Things might get a bit confusing, so bear with me. Anyway, my ex and I went through our first breakup, and I can laugh about it now since so much time has passed. I wish my dad had paid more attention to me when my mom passed away. He was so focused on my ex that he neglected me. I remember crying over my ex in a store. It's the same store I mention in most of my stories. My dad didn't want me around my ex at all, even though I was already 19 and technically an adult. He didn't want me to talk to him or call him. So, while I was on the phone with my ex, a couple noticed I was crying and wanted to know what was wrong. But I ignored them. They spoke Spanish, and when they went into the store, I was still on the phone. When they came out, another person who spoke both English and Spanish translated for me, even though I understood Spanish. They ended up asking me for a ride, and I thought, I really need to get a car. I hoped you would support me in getting one, and then the guy gave me his number. After that, I just moved on with my day. I hope this is the last part. If you prefer me to be more open, I have a lot of stories, but some of them I'll have to share on YouTube because they're too extreme for my family, like my cousin and brother. I also post on Instagram and Facebook where I have friends, family, and coworkers. If my videos go viral, they might reach people I don't want knowing my business. Anyway, the guy from the couple started texting me daily with bullshit, claiming he doesn't care about his wife. I've told him repeatedly that I love my boyfriend and see a future with him. Ugh, these fucking old ragged-ass men's unfaithful guys. He began buying things for me and visiting my dad's place when I was out with my ex. Things escalated when he tried to get intimate with me, despite me making it clear that I wanted my boyfriend. One day, he came to my dad's house and spoke to him while his wife was there as a cover. He told my dad how we met, and then the guy E decided to get revenge on me the same day. Remember when I mentioned he recorded a video? Let's just say it was inappropriate for my dad to see. E sent that video to my dad, so when I got home, I was in double trouble because of the creepy couple and E. My dad just said that I wanted pity, and for people to feel sorry for me, and he blamed me for everything that happened with the creepy guy and E. He said I shouldn't be seeking sexual pleasure at all, and the whole conversation was about how disgusting and disappointing I am. When reality I didn't want no problems, and it wasn't my fault, I just was way naive back then. Keep in mind when my boyfriend and broke up, I decided to go live with him for support.